Good morning. In this short video, we're going to talk about the answers to part 16 and part 17 as we get closer and closer to the end of our book, Rivka. And so, in chapter 16, Rivka arrives. She has arrived at Ellis Island and found that she is going to be there for a while. But in chapter 16, we meet a new character. This person's name is Ilya. He is a 7-year-old Russian peasant. And this is kind of noteworthy because, again, in Russia, the peasants and the Jews were not nice to each other. And Rivka talks about this a lot in the chapter, how she sees the people she hated in this little boy, but he's still a little boy. And in the end, she decides to help him out. What does she do to help him? First of all, she talks to him. Oops. And encourages him to eat. So Ilya's issue is they are keeping him on Ellis Island because they think there's something wrong with him. They think that he's not mentally all there because he's refusing to eat. And so they worry about allowing him to go into the United States. So, and again, this frustrates Rivka a lot too, because here she is dying to get into the United States, and she can't, and all this little boy has to do is eat, and he'd be allowed to go through. She also begins to form a friendship with him, and reads to him. So he and Rivka are becoming closer and closer, as they both sit here on Ellis Island kind of stuck, but for different reasons. In chapter 17, we have a family member is finally able to visit. Saul visits Rivka, and the visit has some ups and some downs. During the visit, Saul and Ilya fight over the book and break Rivka's Star of David. That was very special to her. Also, you could put here, it upset her that Saul tried to tell her what to do, because Saul sees Ilya as the Russian peasant, as the enemy, and yells at Rivka for being friends with him, and Rivka's like, I can be friends with whoever I want to be friends with. So, Rivka's brother says she has changed in a couple of ways. He does mention that she's bald. That's the obvious one. Her eyes appear bigger. I think that was a way of saying that she looks more grown up. Also, Saul sees Rivka has changed as she is friends with the peasant. And that he comments about that being a change as well. But again, Rivka then says, hey, let's not fight. Tell me about everything. She finds out that her parents are working very hard. They were sending all the money to her, which thankfully she saved a lot of it. She didn't waste it. And so she gives money to her brother to buy candlesticks to replace the ones that were stolen. So, all right, and then that ends part 16 and 17. Now today or tomorrow, or I should say Wednesday or Thursday, depending when you watch this, you need to read parts 18 and 19. Those are the last two letters before the final letter. We're going to read the final letter together on Monday. That's a longer letter, but it kind of ties the whole book together, and we find out what happens. So have a great rest of the day.